I I was thinking, and then I hit the button for some reason. Then I yeah, it was the whole thing.
All right. So, Tizio, I don't know if you're muted. You haven't said anything since you got in.
Yeah, I've been muted, but
Okay.
I haven't been saying anything.
No, you're fine. I just know last time you didn't know you were muted or your mic wasn't working. Um, so welcome back, everyone. The group of you had left off. You had been taking some time traversing the city of Yartar, one of the premier cities within the once savage frontier. You were tasked by a once enemy, now tenuous partnership known as the Crimson Five to infiltrate within the city, gather information about the current Water Baron and their goings on, and attempt to remove them from power. In doing so, you managed to survey the area quite decently. You have interacted with the locals. You took some time to just kind of get a general lay of the land and notice the Shield of Yargtar, the prominent guard force here within the city. Um, you stopped into a few different places to comfort yourself with some food and drink. Talk to one barkeep in particular, and had a wonderful time. And also located the um, secret underground inn where a small faction of resistance currently lie within the city. You spent the majority of this morning scouting out the exterior of the Water Baron's mansion that lies atop this hill. Um, Caused a little bit of trouble for some passerby, and then eventually wandered over to the northern side of the city, near one of the exterior gates, to a small oddity shop run by an individual known as Walheim. After speaking with him and perusing through the grand mess that he had presented within his home, um, Tizio became very curious about the goings on in this gentleman's basement and wanted to push further. However, the rest of you talked him out of it. After which, you guys kind of exited out of Walheim's residence and stood within the open roadway, just kind of flustered by everything. And we kind of pick up now where it is about midday or so, as you guys have been traveling around doing a lot of different things. What would you like to do?
So we have seen inside. We've done some surveillance. We're just kind of waiting, right? Do we have a time that we want to do this?
Do we want to wait one more night so you have your spells back? Because I know we spent some of those today.
I mean, just one third level spell.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad.
No, I mean I can get 2 more clairvoyances really, and we have a sending stone, so I don't need to use sending either, right?
Yeah, but yeah, that's like a one-use thing. So
Yeah, I mean hopefully I should only need it once.
um,
I mean I'll be the outside guy, so the only thing I'm doing is watching to make sure you guys don't get hurt or any guards are coming.
yeah.
I guess I can cause distractions if necessary.
Blow up a house or something.
Maybe a smaller scale distraction.
I think in terms of fireball. So anyway, yeah. So for like the actual infiltration, do we have a plan?
You guys are gonna just invisibility in, right?
Yeah, I feel like there was some combination of invisibility, climbing, like one person climbing in the bag of holding, and I don't know, some flying. I think there was a lot of talk. I prepped a lot of different spells, so I think Ellis had some ideas.
Flying was for reconnaissance.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh yeah, because you can climb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can climb to where I think we can get in. The only thing, the only hiccup we ran into was what time of day we should do this in.
Yeah. Are there lots of lanterns around? Like, does it get dark?
I mean, yes, the city gets dark, but I mean, it's not pitch black. You do see that along the main cobblestone roads, there are small lampposts that are kind of scattered throughout that you would know from your previous night. They do get lit as the sun begins to lower itself, and then a large number of the other light from the vicinity of the city just comes from the interior homes and warmth.
So it's not like pitch black, but it's relatively.
It's not, yeah, it's not like brightly lit like, let's say, Waterdeep goes. People use light when they need to, and then for those who don't or those who are sleeping, they just you know, lights are off. But no, you
So-
guys would know that.
Yeah, so we'll probably need to be invisible during the infiltration, I would think. So it might not necessarily matter that much what time we do it. Sometime just in the middle of the night, I guess, when it's dark, so it's a little bit
Yeah.
easier.
Do we want me to, like, since I'm not going in, I could, like, knock on the door and just, I don't know, get the door to open, I guess?
I think we were gonna go through the window to her bedroom up on the second floor with like some teleportating.
Gotcha. Sure.
And do we remember what we were using from Eva since she's not here?
Yeah. Does one of us have access to her character sheet so we can just like see her spells?
Nope.
Because I thought she was using invisibility as well, but I don't, and like one or two other things, but I don't recall.
Yeah, she can cast a lot of spells with that viol, I think.
Well, so I already cast Fly on Ellis today. I can't do it again till tomorrow.
Yeah, but you have invisibility and stuff, right?
Let me check.
I'm pretty sure what we needed her most for was a ritual anyways.
Oh no, we need her for silence, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But we don't have time for the ritual casting of silence. She'll
Oh,
have to.
yes, she has invisibility. Yes, so she already cast Fly with the Viol, but she can still. I can make one of you invisible.
Or two.
I don't know about two.
Can't she upcast it?
No,
It's not a no. Oh, it's not a spell she knows. It's on her viol.
it's she plays a specific melody on the Viol, which enables the activation of it.
I thought invisibility was one of her bard spells. My bad.
You're good.
Okay.
Silence is her bard spell.
Oh, okay. So are we gonna try to cast silence on like an object so we're silent the whole time? Oh wait, then we can cast spells to go inside because I don't have subtle spell.
As long as you
Yeah.
cast it before, right? You good?
No, because you can't do vocal components inside of
Oh, I mean,
silence.
cast it before you do silence.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. You're right. Okay. I think we have a plan, kind of.
For the silence spell, it doesn't say you can cast it on an object. You have to cast it on a point you choose.
I'm like 50% sure you can cast it on the
I'm
thing.
reading it right now. Centered on a point you choose within range. Any creature or object entirely inside the sphere is immune to thunder, and creatures are deafened while inside it.
Well, then what? Oh, it's darkness that can be on a thing.
Correct.
Okay, never mind. My bad.
I guess you can cast it like right next to the object.
Yeah, she'll have to cast it once we're in the room, I think. That way we can like silently do the poisoning.
Well, I mean, Alice, you said her bed was right against the window, wasn't it?
She said her bedroom was right against the window.
I mean, how big is her bedroom?
She's got a pretty big bedroom.
Bigger than 20 feet?
Mm, I mean, probably. I couldn't. It was a little hazy behind the stained glass window, so I don't trust my own measurements. But it might have been bigger than 20. Like imagine like a royal room.
Okay, I guess I have to try to find my way in there too. I mean, I could always just try to cast it on the glass window itself.
Yeah, can we just like do that and then break the glass and
Nope.
then mend
Breaking
it?
the glass leaves how are you gonna bend it?
No, like does mending fix that or no?
It's too. I mean, if you shatter that glass, probably will not be able to fix it with mending.
Or if we could, it would probably take a really long time.
You'd have to hold all the
yeah.
pieces up there.
So maybe Ava casts silence on the window. Ellis gets me and Tizio up the wall. Like Tizio's in the bag. Ellis helps me up the wall. I make us invisible. We teleport inside, and then me and Tizio give her the poison.
Sounds like a plan that I haven't heard before.
Yeah, works for me.
Ellis,
I mean,
any
but
thoughts?
don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure that the whole thing was silencing you guys in the room so that he couldn't hear you.
Yeah, especially if there's like a struggle or something like that. Then
Well, yeah,
might
silence has a pretty good radius. If she casts it like,
right outside the window.
well, I mean, it doesn't say you have to see where you're casting silence. So
The point I choose within range. I don't think I can target something I don't know.
I mean, spells that say you have to see say you have to see. So, but that's up to the DM, obviously, which is you. So,
Oh, let me think about that, guys. A point you choose within range. So I mean, she has to be within 120. I don't think you can just blindly cast silence inside a room that you can't see. That'd be pretty strong.
okay, sounds fair. Okay, so I mean,
Yeah, because if it says point you choose.
yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Okay, is that the plan then?
Yes.
Ellis, any thoughts to or against the plan?
I mean, as long as we're invisible going up, and you have enough stealth potential to stay hidden while you get the job done, without alerting that it was, what it is, which is murder, then no, it sounds all good to me.
As long as it's silent, I'm confident I can be reasonably stealthy. And Tizio's pretty sneaky. He's always sneaking about.
Right. Well, let's mark something off the checklist, eh, boys?
So we are doing this tonight. We're not trying to recon it and see what she does before bed.
I think it's best to just get it over with.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, would only just get more complicated. We might as well rip the Band-Aid off.
I wholeheartedly agree. So, what are you guys gonna do?
Wait until sundown, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys aren't going to do anything before sundown, and you guys can, are you trying to head back into Beldabar's Rest beforehand? Are you guys trying to just hang out around the city until it gets dark?
I mean, I
Uh,
guess one thing we still are using Perry to clear Verwin's the room, right?
Yeah. Yes.
yeah, he does that before we like go in to make sure she's actually like in there and asleep, right?
Yes. I'll try and see outside her room or in her room.
I think in her room is probably for the best.
Okay.
No, nobody outside the room should ever hear us. Hopefully.
Would hope so.
Okay.
Well, and if anything goes wrong, Perry, you contact us, right?
I have a sending stone. Just
Right,
for
man.
this reason.
Plan seems solid.
If something goes wrong, there's probably going to be lots of, stuff happening. It'll probably get pretty loud.
Yeah, about that. What are we going to do if we have to run?
I was planning to make a distraction if something went bad. So I will tell you if something's going wrong. You tell me if something has gone wrong. If something has gone wrong, I will try to get the guards to see me.
I mean, if we need to run, I don't know. Do we have do we have an escape route?
It's the window.
Well,
yeah, I think
I
at
bet
that point it's just
okay, Pose.
getting
We're
out
out
of
of the
that-
window.
yeah.
Now where do we go? There's gates everywhere.
You can scale the walls, can you not?
I mean, I'm looking at a picture of walls that look pretty tall. I'm talking escape the city kind of run.
I mean, if
You could always break through the ceiling and just jump. Lock
we
yourself.
also
in
have the
room.
bag, right? In emergency, you could climb in, and I could get y'all out of there.
Okay, so we've escaped the castle. Then where do we go? Do we have a regroup point?
To the vault or wherever that. To the secret entrance thingy.
Oh, back to the tavern?
Yes.
Okay. We just needed a regroup point, I think. So, because we're kind of going to be split up a little bit. So, need a way to get back together.
Yeah. I think that's the best option.
Cool.
Okay. So where do you guys want to loiter before it gets dark?
Just in a tavern or something? Something inconspicuous?
Okay.
just go sightseeing.
As long as nobody's getting drunk.
Go get some coffee. So we're real
No
late.
promises.
It's noon.
But it's dusk somewhere. Eva kind of gives you a wink.
We have stuff to do today.
Yes, I get your point. So, yeah, actually easy enough to do. There is a small tavern actually not too far from Walheim's place, known as the White-Winged Griffin, which is actually right around here. It's a decent-sized tavern, and when you guys approach it, there isn't really anyone here at the moment. It's quite desolate. You do see that there is one gnomish-looking female that is just kind of scuttling around, trying to clean as best she can, but you do notice that there is actually quite a bit of dust in certain places. The exterior of the building looks fine, but inside it looks like it's a lot harder for one person to manage, you gather. And as you kind of make your way in, there's maybe 2 or 3 tables that seem to be cleared of any kind of food and clutter, and The small female kind of looks over to the group and she says, "Oh, I'll be right with you. Just grab a seat anywhere." And just kind of rushes off into the back. But I mean, you guys can sit and order drinks or food or what have you, and kill time until the sun drops. Is there anything you guys want to do before then? How late into the evening do you wait?
Oh. I bet we could spend a
Sundown.
while. I want to work with the team to see if we can design jackets for everyone.
Okay.
I'm not really a jacket guy, Ellis.
Well, we've got to got something for. What kind of guy are you?
What about just a logo that we put on the kinds of clothing that we all individually prefer?
That sounds like a sweater vest guy.
What? No, I don't wear sweater vests. What is this?
Is it like a patch, like you just iron on to your robe?
Or we get it custom embroidered by a skilled artisan that Ellis finds for us, since he has such a good history. He's attuned with the arts.
Don't know how it happened, guys. Maybe it's in my blood. I don't know.
Well, considering we don't know what your blood is, we don't know either.
Tizio.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
now that we're kind of away from prying eyes, do you mind telling us why you were being so aggressive back there?
At the shop?
Yeah, I've never seen you act like that before. Unless it was with a woman, and I mean, are you changing your preference?
It's it. I wanted to see what the guy was
Oh,
doing
why didn't
downstairs.
you just
That was
ask
it.
him?
I did. He didn't say. He refused.
Probably because you were just walking on while you said it.
I ain't got
I
time for
guess
that.
so. You think he's got anything good down there?
He's got to, especially if he's been hiding it and try to really, really stop me from going down there. I would probably say so.
I mean, I'm not to like back up some bad PR, but I'm gonna agree with Tizzy. I almost slapped that dude's head off. With someone with so much power in one place, he shouldn't be that unorganized. That's like walking into like a mayor's office or a king's throne room, and it's smelling like he's been eating pizzas and ordering out for the past 3 months. Like just is unethically stupid.
It's also a fire hazard.
Awful. Absolutely awful.
Eva just kind of waves her hand towards the small gnomish lady and orders another round for the group of you. Well, I mean, maybe if he doesn't know where the stuff is, no one else can really steal it either.
Security by obscurity.
You never know. Anyway, just thought I'd ask Tizio. It was a little outputting or off-putting. See you doing such a thing.
How much you want to bet somewhere in that magic massive pile there's an item like we've got where you can just put shit into it?
Like,
Imagine how much organized he would be.
bag?
Yeah. What if he had just like a massive bag?
Or
Big
just
bag.
an inventory list.
I think he was reading off of one of those.
Well,
Just jumping in.
if he's a lot smarter, he sure fooled
I
me.
don't know. Perry, what do you think he was hiding down there?
I doubt he even knows.
Well, you seem to be
honestly.
covered in a lot of black stuff, and you usually are when you're working.
You think he's a magic maker?
I don't know.
Making all sorts of these
I have no
items?
idea. I look, I see, I write a song about it.
I suppose it's possible. I guess, do I remember noticing that? or-
Yeah, you recall that he was covered in like some kind of soot or something, and he was wearing a heavy black leather apron and a singular black leather glove. But you guys didn't ask him or anything about it.
It's possible. There are many other things that create such black souls. I've heard of well, my father dabbled in a sort of, I guess, gunpowder, it would be called.
Yeah, I don't know too much about that. So, eventually, as you guys are sitting there just kind of conversing amongst yourselves, day turns to dusk, dusk turns to night. How long do you guys sit and wait?
Oh yeah, I wanted to clarify something. Ava probably shouldn't cast silence until like she gets a signal that we're inside, so I can like use the teleporting spell.
Oh wait, so I'm not
So I
coming
think
in with you.
What? I don't.
I don't know.
How?
You tell me. You're the wizard.
I mean, if you could fit in the bag of holding with Tizio, but I think you won't probably.
Yeah, I don't want to be tight in confined spaces like that.
Yeah, so it's probably best if you stay outside.
Okay. So, you'll give me a signal, and I will silence the window.
Yeah. I think everybody in
look-
agreement on that.
If all else fails, wouldn't it be better for her to be in there than you?
Yeah, but wasn't I important to teleporting everyone inside?
Yeah,
Or-
but once they're inside, can't you do that swap diddly thing?
yes, I could go inside, let Tizio out, and then swap her in, I guess, if I can see her through the window, which was pretty dark and probably wouldn't work for very long range. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we could make it work.
Oh man, we'll improv on the fly. Let's just get this shit done, eh?
Oh, great. Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So, again, how late into the evening do you wait?
At sundown. Well, it's maybe like an hour after sundown.
Okay. So, like 7, 8 o'clock-ish.
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty early.
I mean,
Yeah, man.
it's up to the DM, I guess, but I mean, back before there was internet, you went to bed when it was dark out.
Well, make an intelligence check.
What the heck is going on? Why do I always gotta make it tell? Why am I the one making
Because you
intelligence
asked the
checks?
smart
You
questions.
asked the question. Harry doesn't know what time he goes to bed.
Honestly, that is actually very accurate because you worked with dwarven craftsmen, and dwarves do not sleep on a day-night cycle. They sleep when the work is done. They get up when they have to. So you gather that if they're busy, they might be awake. If there's nothing to do, maybe they go to sleep.
I feel like maybe we should wait a little bit later. I don't know.
Well, it's up for debate. I'm not saying has to be at that time. If we want to wait until, say, a point of exhaustion comes into play, then let's do it.
I mean, I don't know if we need to go till like morning, but you know.
Look, just the worst outcome would be that we go into the room and she's awake in there.
That would be
Right.
bad.
So
That's why you have the silence spell, right? So she can't even scream for help.
Yeah, but she could run to the door, and then what are we doing?
But you are murdering her.
yeah, maybe it's wise we wait until like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was gonna say midnight-ish.
Have you do clairvoyance, and then you give us the go, and then we'll go in.
Okay, we can do that.
And then if she's not there, we wait till the next day.
Yeah. I mean, is highly acclaimed as I do acclaim improv. Let's not shoot for the worst outcome, which is her not being in the room.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, the worst outcome is you get caught and you all get murdered, but
Nah, we can pick a fight.
there was like 20 guards in there.
And if I get a hold of the hammer, there'll be 20 less guards.
Okay.
Anyways. Alright, let's get this done.
Okay. So you sit and you wait, and at times you grow a little impatient, and then you feel that tension that builds up within your chest, almost like you're feeling the need to gasp for air as you're unsure of what's about to transpire. And eventually the female gnome that's there, just kind of looking at the group of you, starts asking, what are you? I need to close up shop. I appreciate the patronage. You guys have been, dropping coin here and there throughout the evening. But she looks like she's exhausted, and you haven't seen anyone else enter the establishment since. It's probably pushing almost midnight at this point.
Oh. Yeah, we're sorry. Well, get out of your hair. Thanks for sticking around. Pass her 10 gold.
Well, thank you. I mean, I appreciate it. I run the shop alone, so it's a little hard to keep open too late.
Hey, do me a favor. Tell me which one of these designs you think suits that guy the most. And I'll hold up 2 pieces of scratch-ass artwork. One of them is like a shoulder cloak with the rat symbol on it, and it's got like nice embroidery around it. And the other one is like a walking stick, but it has a whole bunch of the Ava sewer rats like engraved into the wood, spiraling up to the top.
Okay. Make 2 dexterity checks.
Dexterity checks. Right.
Okay. She takes a moment. She kind of rubs her eyes a little bit and gives out a bit of a yawn that she tries to stifle with her hand, and she takes a look and tilts her head to the side a little bit, looking at the first one, and she says, "Well, that shoulder cloak looks real nice. You'd look like a dashing young man with it on."
I think he'd look pretty good too. And it's like more simple, It won't impede his style. Alright. Thanks for the
Of course, anytime. Have a great evening. Now go, please. And she kind of ushers you guys back out to the main thoroughfare and starts to close up shop. But as you guys kind of stand out within the center of the city, you can see that there are, from where you guys are at, there are some homes that are still lit with a low light just kind of emanating, whether it be from like the front porch or a couple of the small street posts that are scattered along the cobblestone roads. And now as you guys kind of look up over at the Water Baron's Hall, there are torches illuminating the entire base. Maybe about every 50 or so feet, you can see that there is torchlight emanating from the top, almost like a bit of a beacon.
This is why we have invisibility.
But you guys are, make a perception check. Whoever wants to look around. Okay. Just taking a quick glance around the streets. Um, you you don't really see anybody. It is fairly quiet. It's a little off-putting at first. You do kind of glance as you kind of walk down the cobblestone street, maybe a good 500 or so feet. You do see what appears to be maybe 2 or 3 Shield of Yartar, or someone, I should say, in what seems to be like a gleaming metal at that distance, just holding a singular torchlight and just kind of talking amongst themselves as they seem to be wandering through some of the main roads. What do you guys do?
Well, we have to kill another hour,
It's
right?
about midnight now. It's up to you guys.
No, I think this is good enough.
Alright, fair enough. Well, I should probably go change since I'm still in my white suit. Can I just like dip into an alley and throw on my black overcoat?
Yeah, the jacket that you have made. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. It's pretty easy to do for you guys to kind of just veer off the main path and walk between a couple homes. Nobody seems to be out or around paying you any mind.
All right. Should we start with a little peeping?
Probably.
Yeah. I will cast. And he will cast clairvoyance.
Okay. Roll an Arcana check for me.
More didn't help me see into this poor lady's room. Ugh.
You would probably.
Can Ava have inspired him?
Inspired you. So go ahead and roll D8.
Yeah.
The bare minimum. The
Made that
bare
10
minimum.
easy.
Okay. So let me pull you guys over. And let me know when you can see the inside of this area. Okay.
I can see.
Give me 1 second. So, as your vision solidifies and you begin to look at the interior of this beautiful looking bedchamber, a couple things you notice, and it kind of falls in line with what Ellis had told you earlier. A very extravagant looking room with this large 10 by 10 foot glass pane window along the what would be the eastern wall, where you guys know it is perched up on the third floor. You can see that there appears to be some kind of ladder well that leads down on the side, and you can see that there appears to be a human woman, one that you recognize from earlier in the day. Auburn colored hair, wearing a fine metal attire, almost in a full plate if you'd had to guess. But she is currently standing there, still fully dressed, holding what appears to be a glass of wine or something, and she takes a sip from it as she kind of like paces back and forth momentarily, just looking about her bedchamber. A few more moments. Oh,
Keep going.
a few moments pass, and you watch as she just kind of. She doesn't seem to be saying anything. There doesn't appear to be anyone else in the room. And then you watch as maybe about 2 or 3 minutes later, she stops and she turns towards the back end of the room where you can see that there is this maybe 3 or 4 foot tall black altar or pillar of stone, and what sits up on top of it, you can see, is a very large, about 1.5 foot in diameter, crystal sphere, and it slowly is just bobbing and levitating up and down off of this pillar, and it is a light mist is just kind of emanating off of it, and you watch as she turns and looks towards it, her back towards the window at the moment. She begins to take a few steps forward. You don't hear anything because you can only see these things. So she is currently just kind of staring at this thing from what you can see in a top-down view.
Can I quickly switch to hearing?
Yeah.
Just to see if I
Yep.
can hear anything. If I don't hear anything, just switch
Yeah.
back. Again,
As your vision goes dark and you kind of focus your senses and you can hear your breath through your ears and you try to focus, make a perception check.
Perception. Let's get lost.
Ooh,
Yeah,
very
There we go.
nice. Okay, give me 1 second, because nope. Okay. You begin to hear the familiar voice of the woman that you heard down in the dining hall, and you by now have come to realize that this is the voice of Belathine, the current water baron who resides over Yartar. And as you're listening in, you begin to hear her talking. To whom you're not sure, because when you looked in the room just a moment ago, there was no one there. Things are coming along quite nicely. I'm sure that there are a number of benefits that we can have here in the Sword Coast, and with Yartar being responsible for the negotiation of all these trade routes here from the east, I see a sizable bit of income coming our way. And then there's a lower response from what you gather is like a male or something. And what of Sembia? Well, don't you worry about that. As soon as negotiations are complete, and I assure you they will, we will have open trade with Sembia. It is odd that they are now willing to negotiate trade with us. They are usually such an isolated city. Or country, excuse me. And Belathine responds, well, you underestimate my abilities. But don't you worry. Once all is done here and agreements are made, the Lord's Alliance will have a much wider reach than you had before. And should you find it within your good graces, I do hope to become part of that alliance myself. In time, Belathine. In time. Complete what you were tasked to do first. Prove that you would be a benefit to the Lord's Alliance. And then we can talk further. And at that moment you hear what sounds like a rapping on wood. and there's some sounds that appear to be footsteps. And then yeah, you can. No, you're fine.
Sorry.
As you switch your vision back over, and now you were looking into the room, you can see Bellatine is currently where she was standing here, talking to this altar. You see climbing up from the ladder below another familiar face that you saw earlier in the day. The dark ashen skin of a beautiful looking woman in mute browns and tans. And as she arrives up at the platform, you can see that there's just a look between her and Bellatine. You can see that their mouth is moving for a minute. And then Bellatine kind of shakes her head and waves an arm. And then a moment passes, and they both kind of look at each other awkwardly. And then you see them both rush into this kissing embrace.
Oh, jeez.
And then your vision fades.
Oh, that's awkward. So the Lord's Alliance is the one who hired us for this mission, right?
Nope,
Not
definitely
for-
not.
Not for killing, but for the trade route, right?
I feel like we were just hired by the Iron Company, but I'm not positive.
The Lord's Alliance sounds familiar to me. What is it? Why am I blanking right now?
The Lord's Alliance is the group that is supposedly in negotiations with adding Yartar to its range of influence. It is also what the Crimson Five tells you is the reason why Bellatine has kicked out all the poor people from the city.
Oh, okay. That's I get confused then. My bad. Well, she's definitely not sleeping. I would say give her another half an hour. Might be tuckered out after that.
Is she alone? Like,
No, she's definitely not alone.
Drawing up some war plans or something?
Well, definitely some conquering.
well, I
How
mean,
is
I,
it that
I don't.
you didn't understand any of my references earlier? Damn it. Alright, well, I'm okay with waiting.
I mean, I don't think we want to witness.
Well, she's not alone, and she's definitely not sleeping.
Who's she with?
We also don't know if
I'm assuming one of her mistresses, lovers, whatever you want to call it.
So what are we gonna do?
I mean, I guess we have to wait. Right?
should we check back in half an hour? Because we don't know if she's still going to be alone, even after.
Yeah, I would say wait half an hour. We'll try it again. If it doesn't work, we might have to call it for the night.
Okay.
I mean, can we think of a plan to deal with the witness? One doesn't immediately come to mind.
I suppose she could stay. Doesn't strike me the sort to stick around, but sure.
You said it was a she? You said it was a she?
Yes, this is whatever year this is. This is progressive thinking.
That's well, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, it's not like frowned upon, is it?
Oh, I wish I knew what yours was. That would
So,
have landed way better.
1489.
1489. That's progressive.
Oh,
Can't wait to see how things are in 2021.
oh boy. Well, not to sound like a dark one here, but somebody remind me, what is our goal?
To dispose of the water ballad without a witness using the special poison.
Without any sort of struggle.
And Eva kind of taps on her nose. Eh? Who is gonna get blamed for it?
No one's supposed to get blamed. It's supposed to be a heart attack in the middle of the night.
Okay. I don't want to sound like a... Well,
Do you
I
have
mean,
an
I don't
idea?
want to sound like a dark
What?
one, but accosted lovers?
Yeah, I suppose there's some merit to that plan. But
Well, remind me, was the goal to make sure that it looked like an accident, or was the goal to make sure that it didn't look like she was murdered from someone on the outside?
I mean, they said it, I think they preferred if it didn't look like she was murdered, but I don't know. Maybe if she was murdered by someone they can blame it on, then they don't have as many problems. I don't know.
I doubt she can be linked back to anybody that matters, right? I don't know where she is either, so who knows?
Look, their affair is probably secret anyways. I'd rather not dive into the whole politics of exactly what this new person is involved. We should just wait it out.
Okay, Hillis. Sounds fair to me. Okay. So,
I think we should wait 30 minutes, check and see what's going on, and then go from there.
okay, perfect. So, as you guys are trying to stay inconspicuous in the dead of night and talk amongst yourselves, just everybody give me a stealth check.
Anyone have any cards? You know, like games?
Go fish.
No.
I mean, I could play
You're
some
kidding me,
music,
right?
but
We've walked around for this long and no one has a
I could
set
play
of
some
playing
music, but I
cards?
think it'll be a little distracting.
Yeah, the music might compromise the stealth
Hence
part
why
of
I'm
this
not
mission.
doing it. Okay. You have a moment where you guys are just trying to stay not in the same spot. You're kind of ducking between buildings as you go and just trying to stay out of sight as best you can. There is a moment where you guys have to pause because you do hear one of the Shield of Yartar shout out, "Halt! Who goes there?" You don't currently see anybody, and you can hear the distant conversation of maybe 2 or 3 individuals that seem to be walking along the cobblestone street, and you guys are kind of off to the side of it a little bit. You guys, what are you guys trying to do?
So we were
You
spotted or heard, I guess.
aren't sure. Perry may have made a little bit of a noise that may have caught attention, but you don't feel this. No one's locked eyes onto you. You guys can just try to remain quiet for a moment, let it pass, do something to abate the situation. It's up to you.
I'll take out my matchless pipe.
Okay.
And then just wait to see if they confront
Sure.
us.
How do I not have that item on here for you? I'll put that. Oh no, there it is. Doesn't do anything fancy, right? Nope.
It actually makes all guards forget what
That's
they were
it said
doing.
right there on the text. So a moment goes by, and you hear the footsteps of metal plating get louder, and you do sense that somebody or a group of people are coming closer towards you guys. And then there's another pause, and you kind of hold your breath. Hello? Show yourselves now and save yourselves the trouble. Edwards, I think you've imagined it, man. Come on. And then you hear a scoff. And then they start to walk the other way.
You.
By now, about 30 or so minutes has passed. What do you guys want to do?
I will cast
Okay.
clairvoyance again.
Don't need to make the Arcana check because you've seen the inside, so you're familiar with the space. As you
Nice.
peer within the bedchamber once more, make a perception check. Nice roll. The bedchamber is now much darker. There is still a faint, very faint, like silver luminescent glow coming from that stone altar you saw at the back of the room. There is a brazier on the southern side of the bedchamber that is now just kind of burnt down to a slow ending of its life. The remaining coals that are on fire have now turned to a deep red. And with that roll, you see that there are two individuals currently wrapped up in one another on the bed. One is Belathine, and the other is the same individual you saw the last time you peeked in.
Do they
They
appear
do.
to be asleep? Can I switch to hearing and hear if I can... hear if I can hear any snoring? Or at least a
Okay.
deep breathing?
Make one more perception check for me. Okay.
Ugh.
You don't hear like voracious snoring or anything like that, but you do hear just what sounds like the steady rise and fall of breath. You don't hear any conversation, you don't hear any movement.
And I'll just, I guess I'll whisper. I can talk
I
while
think
I'm
so.
doing this, right? I'll just be like, they're definitely sleeping. Go now, and at least got some time. I can make sure they're sleeping for the next, so however many minutes I've left.
I'd say you got about 9 minutes. Didn't take long to switch and do all that.
Yes, go now. They are sleeping for the most part, for probably.
Question is, Can you guys do this with another body in the room?
I don't really like it, but might be what we have to do.
Oh, as a note, just so you're aware, because I should have mentioned this detail. Um, there are there's armor plating and clothing on the floor. Like scattered in various bits. Just so you're aware.
Huh? Gotcha.
I mean, if we're gonna go, I guess we should go.
Yes, it's now or never, honestly. Well, now or tomorrow.
I guess I'll cast a third level invisibility on me and Ellis.
Okay. And Eva kind of looks at the group of you and just says, just give me the signal and I can... You said the bed's right up against the wall, right?
It's in the vicinity. I think it'll be okay.
Okay. Well, just let me know when you want it.
I'll snap my bat outside.
Okay. Your bat appears.
No, like when I enter.
Oh, gotcha.
I guess we'll have Tizio climb in the bag, so we have 10 minutes to get him out or he dies. So.
I was gonna say also she's going up with us as well, or she's staying down on the ground.
She has to stay within 120 feet of the building to, well, yeah, to cast it. 120. So at some point, I mean, she doesn't have to stay there after it's cast, but she has to somehow dart up close enough to the building to be able to cast it and then get out of the way.
Yeah, so so like she's not climbing up with us.
No,
Like that wasn't ever the plan, right?
I don't. Yeah, I don't think you guys said that.
Tizio, can you concentrate on invisibility on her?
On
Eva.
Eva.
Yeah, I have to get really close to the building, and there's a lot of torchlight over there.
Yeah. So Tizio can concentrate on that.
Okay. How long does that last for you, Tizia? Is it an hour?
Yeah, it's the normal thing, obviously, until like.
Okay.
Sorry.
When she casts a spell, she won't be invisible anymore.
Right, but yeah, she'll have to figure out how she's gonna get the hell out of there.
Good luck.
Thanks for not being here, Eva.
Ellis, hopefully I won't have to cast another spell and we'll just stay invisible. But
Well, is your innate... hold on. Is your innate ability considered casting?
Nope.
Cool. Okay.
And it also doesn't have any components as far as I can tell, so. Hopefully it will be okay.
Alright. Well, I will... Let's see here. What can she do to keep herself... Oh, yeah. She knows what she'll do. Okay.
Great.
S
She has a plan.
Oh, yeah. She will, and as you guys know, she can change her form. And so she gives you a big thumbs up,
Cool.
but you can't see it because she's invisible.
So I guess we have a plan.
All right, let's go. Let's go. We got no time to waste. He's suffocating the man.
All right. Well,
We didn't have this conversation while he was in the bed.
all right. So we're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we will execute this, and we will see what happens. Because this is a lot of stuff moving at one time. So hopefully you guys coordinated this a lot. Alright, so we'll be back in a few minutes, guys. I'm back, guys. Sorry about that.
Ellis, are you gonna? Is Ellis back?
I don't know.
Y'all.
Are you gonna climb down after we go in, or are you gonna stay up there?
I'll probably stay up there, just so I have some communication with you.
Okay. Because I'm thinking I might have to cast a spell, which means you would no longer be invisible. So you might have to run. To be perfectly honest.
Look at man, I'm a spider. You can't see me.
I guess you could climb up to the roof.
Let's see. I need paper.
Here, you have to take notes.
Oh yeah. There's a chain of events going on. Okay. So,
Just because before you go in, I can link to you, and then we can speak telepathically the entire time we're in.
Okay, that's useful.
mhm.
So, you need any outside info or need to share anything with me, we can speak through glass.
It's very true. Do you have to see the target?
I do when I link to them, but afterwards, they just have to be in range.
So we'll just say you link to him now.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Do you guys feel like you're ready?
And you could literally just walk up the wall. Like you don't have to do any spell checks or anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
I can literally just walk up the wall.
Yeah. I'm making a face, but yes.
I mean,
I'm not arguing with it. I'm glad you chose what you chose.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're ready.
I'm here.
Okay. Let me
Wait.
change the
Hold on.
music. Yeah, I'm changing it. Because you guys are being sneaky.
Sneaky is a one word for what's about to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, order of operations.
Can we just have like the Metal Gear soundtrack playing right now?
I think that would mute the stream. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Tizio, you're climbing in a bag of holding. What's your constitution modifier?
No, the bag of holding is just a fixed count, as I said.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then after that is the con, but it's a +1, 12.
Okay, noted. So, 2 extra minutes before you suffocate.
Whoa. Oh boy.
I'm
That's a
just
really good guess.
I'm just making sure. So,
That is one more than I thought I had, so it's all fair.
okay.
We
Here's
didn't get into like a fight or anything like that, right? I mean, my
y
hit points are at 42, so I just was wondering if maybe I just didn't reset it.
no,
That seems wrong.
you Scrooge McDucked into a pile of debris.
Oh,
That's what it was. Okay.
why? He hit his head stuffing into a pile of debris.
Yes, I got to rewatch that earlier. Um, okay. So, Tizio, just make an athletics check for me. Or an acrobatics check, your choice.
Um,
Just cuz.
Oh boy.
Come on.
I
Alright.
mean, I could have done
So,
guidance.
no, that's
But
cool. It's cool. So here's the thing, right? So, nothing bad happens. It takes you a little longer than you would have liked to finagle yourself into this bag. And this is by far the strangest experience you have ever felt. As you try to wedge your legs into this bag, it's it's hard to describe because not only do you feel like, well, you know that the bag is pretty deep and you think you're going to get pulled down into it and you're trying to prevent yourself from falling, so like one of you is holding this bag open, and there's this weird mesh of you guys holding on to each other as Tizio tries to clamber inside, and eventually you manage to take that last big deep breath before everything goes dark. You are blind and deaf. You have no idea what's going on, and you feel weightless. What are you guys doing?
Well, I mean, now we're on the clock.
Yes. So from this moment on, the things you do and the conversations you have count against your time. What are you doing?
Let's roll.
I hop in Ellis's arms and we go.
Damsel in distress.
Okay. So you begin darting your way over. Ellis, you are invisible. Yes.
As am I.
Yes.
Uncommon.
Okay. Both of you make stealth checks for me.
Just a normal one.
Well, you get advantage because you're invisible.
Hell
Okay. It's off to a great start. So let me mark that off. I have to start from 10 minutes, and I have to kind of wind down stuff because you guys are rushing, but then you also have to make sure you're not getting seen as well. So Ellis, you pick up Talon and you begin to rush forward towards the Water Baron's Hall. Um, you're trying to make a beeline as quietly as possible, and at the same time you see like you can't see Talon, but you know he's in your arms. So at moments you kind of have to shift his weight around a little bit to make sure that you're not toppling him over one side, he falls down or something. So as you get closer and closer to the back of the central palace itself, and you can see now that there's bright torchlight that is wrapping around the base as you start to make your way up this hill, and you have to kind of pause and stand for a moment and wait as a group of 4 guards begins circling along the backside. They're not saying anything to each other, but they are actively searching the perimeter. And you wait, and a minute goes by, and then you slowly start working your way the other way around, and now you find yourself base to base with the wall of this tower.
Right, Talon. Get on my.
Do that.
Yeah.
Or I have written like that the whole time.
Absolutely.
I don't know how he was gonna go.
So you kind of hop down for a minute, rearrange yourselves, and Ellis, you begin to start climbing up this solid black stone structure, hand over foot, just kind of climbing almost like a ladder of sorts. And you begin to slowly start scaling up. And it's not just one straight, smooth surface. There are various different bits of rock and things that protrude out from the sides, just part of the whole like Gothic kind of cathedral. Um,
You just slightly hear me humming.
okay, uh, it is a fairly decent climb up for you. Just go ahead and make an athletics check for me because you're carrying a person. Nice. And without issue, you manage to scale up this wall. Uh, the building is quite tall, so it does take you a good 30 or so seconds to kind of like dash your way up there. But eventually you do come up to the side of the glass window.
I mean, can I see inside at all?
Make a perception check. It is too dark to see anything inside.
Well, that complicates things.
You can see that the large 10 by 10 foot stained glass window depicting Tamora in all of her glorious prime as she kind of like just looks out welcoming to what appears to be like a group of individuals, and you can see that there's some kind of like threads of gold and just this beautiful array of in a display on this window. And as you kind of like shift your way as close as you can to the window and try to peer through one of the lighter panes, you cannot see inside. It's just
Oh,
you're straining.
so are do one of the potions I have like glow at all? Like, does a healing potion emit any light? Because I forgot to cast light on a ball bearing.
um,
Like, do we have anything that
I'm I'll say you can you have a light ball bearing if you want. I'm not gonna deny you that.
Okay. Well, then I do my best to just barely uncover enough light to see through the window.
Like just try to like palm it and angle it.
Yeah, like barely slide it out of like my teleporter.
Okay.
So
So I need to
I
make a
don't know
roll.
if that's possible.
No, no, yeah, sure. I have to roll now because you're
Do
making
I need
light.
to roll a skill check?
No.
Like a dexterity check or anything?
Nah. Oof. Um. Actually, yeah. Go ahead and make a dexterity check for me, just so I have something to compete on this. Okay. Now that you take out the ball bearing from your pocket, um, it's kind of hard to conceal the light as you are invisible. So the light is kind of just shining everywhere.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, we do this quickly then.
Yep. Um, you're not sure what's gonna happen, but yeah, you kind of hold the light behind you, like a small little sun or a flashlight just kind of shining in through the glass. Make another perception check. Okay, now this time you can see a little bit better. You can't make out too many fine details of the room, but you do see that there are a number of scattered bits of element of cloth and armor that are just kind of scattered throughout the floor.
I'll go ahead and have the well, I'll put the light like okay. Sorry, not saying words.
Hmm.
Um, I'll go ahead and teleport in, I guess, and have the bat appear, and I'll just show it to them.
Okay, so you alone are teleporting in. Okay.
I mean, that's all I can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Perry, from your perspective, because you're still concentrating on the inside of the room through vision or sound.
Let's say vision.
Okay, so you do see the dark interior of the room and it's very quiet, and then all of a sudden, through the stained glass window, a smattering of red, green, and yellow just starts to pour through. And then all of a sudden, how far in the room do you go, tell him?
Up by the window where I can see, maybe if I can see any clear things, that way I'll be in the silence.
Oh, okay,
Can you
so
see that?
yeah, so you're casting the bat now so that the
No, no. So I teleport in, and then I'll have the bat appear after. Like,
do you have to see where you cast the bat?
I realize that I don't need components to do the thing, so we could probably simplify this and just have her cast silence.
Okay, I'm just asking because
Yeah, but I don't know if I have to see.
well, from the last time you did it, I think you had to see. You had to see inside to be able to cast over.
Should we have the silence trigger as I teleport in somehow?
Sure, absolutely. So I gotta roll for even now. Hold on.
And she's caught and dies.
I don't know. We'll see.
Rolling the trigger.
So she's invisible. She gets advantage. She rolls well. Okay. So she, while almost in tandem, while you guys kind of rush up and you don't see her doing this, she also rushes up along the side and trying to just keep in pace. Eventually gets. She has to get very close, especially because she's looking upward towards this building. Um, Eventually, as Ellis, as you make your way up there and you see this bright shining light in behind you, and then as it disappears, you also see a small shimmer appear around you, and then it's just quiet. You don't even hear the sound of the wind blowing next to you. So silence has been cast. You teleport.
Start trying to whistle.
Okay. No sound comes out. Talum, you appear uh, about 10 feet off into the side of the room here. Just make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Dexterity.
Yeah. Okay. So you manage to apparate into the room and not disturb any of the equipment that's there. And then at the same time, as you kind of land in and exhale a little bit, you notice that there's no sound coming out.
Look like people are silently asleep.
Yeah, you turn around and you look, and you can see that there are two individuals laying in the bed, just currently curled up amongst one another. They do not seem to notice your presence. Do you still have the ball bearing out, or did you tuck it away before you went in?
Oh no, no.
I'm just asking. I gotta ask.
How's it going? Tell him.
I'm working on getting Tizio out. Guess I'll help Tizio out of the bag now.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't disturb them.
Well, no. I mean, even as you kind of rummage amongst your pockets to find the bag and to begin reaching in, thinking of Tizio. Tizio, you have been floating weightless and devoid of, other than your own thought, you don't even hear your own breathing. It is, or not breathing, but you're because you're holding your breath, I assume, or are you just breathing in normally?
I would assume I'd try, like, I guess I'd be holding my breath unless I knew that I could actually breathe in there for
Okay.
that amount of time.
Well, so for the first 2 minutes, you were holding your breath, and it got to the point where you felt like it was unbearable, and you're like, well, I have to do it, and you just exhale this large gasp, and no sound comes out, but you do find air. But eventually, what happens is you feel something pulling at the back of your neck.
Am I able to? Well, I guess before, or I went in and ahead of time. I guess that I'd pull up my armor as well.
Yeah, for infiltrator.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Easy enough to do. So you feel a hand grabbing on towards the back of your neck and begin to start pulling in an upward direction, and you start working your way out of the bag. Just make another athletics or acrobatics check for me. Okay. So thankfully, it doesn't take as long to eventually work your way out of the bag, and once you do, you find yourself standing alone inside this bedchamber. And as you kind of look around, you can see that there are bits of metal scattered around, loose pieces of clothing, and you see this central bed next to the stained glass window and two individuals sleeping in it.
We never discussed it, but who has the poison?
I mean, it's in the bag, or you have it.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure where it was at. Um,
Oh, shit. I have the poison.
I'm just like, wait a minute. Um,
It,
I'll kind of gesture to tell him, like, go ahead.
you don't see him, but yeah,
Oh, that's right. He's invisible. That's right.
yeah. So you
Well,
you
yeah,
gesture you gesture out in the
I'll know he's
space.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you see this town.
Do I understand what he's doing?
Do you? You see him making this, like, I don't know what kind of gesture are you making. So he kind of lifts both of his hands palm up and just kind of like shoulder shrugs in that direction.
Okay, I guess I'll it,
Obviously, we're here for a reason, Cal. Like,
yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't really think this far.
and can I take note of the armor that's on the floor?
Oh my God, you're not stealing anything. What is
No, I'm not
happening?
stealing it. I want to take note, like, as to what they look like.
Make a perception check. I, I mean, as you kind of survey the room, you can see that, you know, with the large desk on one side, and you can actually see the currently closed latch on the left. Um, the armor's kind of scattered everywhere. It best you can tell just from the amount of pieces, it looks like it's some kind of full plate. I mean, are you trying to like pick it up and inspect it?
No, more of their what it looks like their design, I guess. Like, they're black, they're blue, it has a weird curvature.
It looks like standard plate mail, silver with like you can see that there is a thin yellow filigree that kind of laces where like the leather is, for some of the wrappings. But it doesn't look anything out of the ordinary other than the coloring.
Okay.
Are you casting Mage Hand?
No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
I was just trying to read it, but it popped up.
Okay.
Uh, um. Uh. So how does one administer poison? Is it a swallowing poison that we have?
Well, let's look at the card.
Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. Okay, so it's just in a glass vial.
Mhm.
Uh huh. I didn't think this far.
Mhm.
Yeah. I guess. I guess we have to try to force feed it to her. That's the point of the silence. But one of us has to deal with the. Mm, oh boy.
Is the like the potion like invisible, or like is it just like floating in the air? Like because of the like he was invisible with the light, and the light was a little kind of
The
dim.
when the vial is procured from the bag of holding, it is visible. You see it.
Okay.
Because the bag is kind of strapped onto Talon when he casts the invisibility, I would say that piece of equipment, quote unquote, is invisible. But when he removes another object, it becomes visible, just like his ball bearing.
Cool.
Hey, Callum, speaking of spiders, do
Yeah.
you know that about that the average person probably swallows 30 spiders a year and has no idea?
Okay. That's noted. Thanks, Alice. So.
No problem. Just a fun fact. I'm just out here bored doing nothing.
Uh huh.
Make a
I.
perception check, Ellis. Okay. You do see that those four guards that were circling counterclockwise around the building have now circled back around, and they are looking up in your direction at the glass window.
I'll flip them off.
They don't react.
Good.
um,
Well played, DM.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, they just kind of they look up towards the glass window. Oh, is the bat there? That's the thing. Let me roll a perception check for them.
Well.
Heck, can they see a bat 120 feet away
Yeah,
in the darkness?
I mean, yeah, I didn't say it was at
Rough,
advantage. I'm just
rough
saying,
distance.
roll just the bat's out the window. Yes, the bat is on an invisible person's shoulder. Yes.
I mean, I figured. Well, I didn't explicitly address it, so I guess. I didn't say no. So
Roll me a stealth
this is
check for your bat, just cause.
this is happening all at once. Then yeah, I guess.
You also can't see where the bat appeared on her shoulder.
This is there are things I'm considering. Don't worry.
What is
I'm
a bat's dexterity? 22?
Yeah.
17.
Better than my 1. So they do not notice the bat, thankfully. And as you see them kind of looking up at you, Ellis, you kind of like scoop it up a little bit and just kind of perch him on the wall instead, just so he doesn't look like he's just floating. But they continue on. What are you guys doing inside? Perry, what are you doing outside? You can see now that Tizio has slowly emerged in this like weird birthing from nothingness, like head first, and then slowly clambers onto the ground, and then is just standing in this room, and he's like making this shrugging gesture.
Well, find my clairvoyance ending. Once that happens, he'd probably just be, I guess, listening, trying to get a good position close by, so it'd be near if anything super gnarly is going wrong.
Okay, the closest you can get while trying to stay like off of the, because like I said, so you got houses that surround the Water Baron's Hall, right? And then it goes up this slope into a almost like a hilltop. So there's a good 300 or so feet before a house. So I mean, do you want to try to like stand on the open grass, or are you just trying to stay in the shadows near the houses?
Yeah, he'll stay in the shadows.
Okay, fair enough. You do eventually see about a minute or so after. Well, you wouldn't see because your eyes are closed. You're looking through. You feel a tap on your shoulder.
I would still come out clairvoyant.
Okay, I mean you're still
Nobody
constant.
else should be there, right?
Yeah, no one that you could think of off the top of your head, but you pop out for a moment. You actually see a shield of Yartar standing right next to you.
Hello there.
You watch as his face kind of smirks, and then the form drops. It was just Eva.
What the heck?
Well, I had to get out of there somehow. So, back to the room. Did I scare you?
A little.
All right. So, who's doing what?
I mean, I'm gonna hand the potion to Tizio,
Okay.
and then we'll creep up to the bed with him, I guess, if that's what he wants to do. I don't know.
Okay. Tizio, you see this vibrant colored potion just kind of extend in your direction.
Um, yeah, I'll go. I'll just go ahead and take it and try to, put it down her throat. Obviously, pour it down her throat.
Could I assist him in any way?
Um,
Seeing how we're, or at least, I'm gonna. Yeah, I can do guidance on my spell.
No, you can't cast a spell. There's that'll make a lot of noise. I think. I mean, I might be wrong, but
I'm trying to see,
does,
cause I don't think there's.
does it have a vocal component?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see here.
I
Actually, it does, so I wouldn't be able to.
Good.
well, hold on. So this circle is the radius of the 20-foot radius or whatever of the silence spell, right? So what is
Well,
that? Like here-ish?
shouldn't it be like?
It's a 20-foot sphere. So
Is it 20-foot radius sphere or total 20 foot sphere?
a 20-foot radius. So
Yeah,
it's
so it should go like a half circle 20 feet into the room.
yeah, like 10 feet in, if I'm not
No, it's
mistaken.
20 feet in because it's a 40-foot diameter.
Oh, correct. Yeah,
So it should be to like the edge of the bed,
yeah.
all the way out to here.
Okay.
Like I think where I'm
Is
standing
that
is probably right.
hold on this, because this itself is here.
Yeah, it should be the flat part should be against the wall though, right?
I mean,
Should be half outside.
I will say,
20.
technically, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can make noise outside of it, and they won't hear you.
Very true.
Yeah, but people like on outside with the doors and stuff. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to,
No, no, you're fine.
yeah, I'm a little confused, but we're good. I think.
I think so too. Anyway.
Tizio, you gonna go for it?
Well, I'm assuming like, what's the lowest volume that I can cast this? Like a small whisper? Am I saying it out loud? Like what's the lowest you can do it? I feel like the way I do my magic is a little bit different in a way, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, I kind of think of it of like me thinking out loud as to what I'm doing.
Sure.
So it's like, can I whisper it or no?
Yeah. I mean, when you're casting guidance, you're kind of giving a pep talk. So yeah, you can totally whisper it to yourself. Like, come on, you can do this. I mean, I'm not saying that it's gonna be. It's not super loud when you're saying it or anything like that. You can do it quietly.
Okay. Yeah, then I would say I would do it then.
Okay.
Forward to the corner of the room or something at least. The guards have a lower chance of hearing you. Stand by the window, please. Something. I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You can hold her mouth open if you want, and I'll pour it in.
So yeah. So just I put the other token in there just so you guys are aware. So there are two people in the bed. So Tizio, where is your token? Here, put your token on there.
Give me 1 second here.
Why is it not dragging over? There it is.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. So you are both of you trying to force it to her and
If he wants to assist, I think that's the only way we could,
okay,
unless he has another bright idea.
and not interacting with the other body at all.
Well, I mean, is there anything I could do to her instead?
You tell me.
I mean, I could just put a pillow on her head and hold it there.
Jesus.
Dark. Yes, yes, you could. You could definitely attempt to suffocate her.
Well, I feel like we're probably gonna wake her up, but
How
that's
far
a
away is Dora?
Should we roll initiative for what's about to happen?
It depends on what you guys are trying to do. I just want to get a clear picture. So Tizio, are you just trying to like jam the potion in her mouth and make her drink it? Are you guys trying to hold her body down so she can't fight back when something is stuck in her face? She's not gonna.
I'm not like shoving it down her throat, but I'm pouring it in,
Right.
just
I'm
at a slow
Yeah,
pace, I
is
guess.
she an open mouth sleeper?
make a perception check.
Both of us.
Sure.
Even with the ones anyway.
Does my passive perception count?
Nope.
No, it does not.
You rolled a one.
Yep. um, no, she does not seem to be snoring or have an open mouth. You are going to have to open her jaw and put this liquid down her throat.
Okay.
So you gather there is going to be physical interaction, which probably will wake her.
That's something that I can try and do without his help, right? Or no?
What for? Like hold her down and force feed her the.
No, well, like one hand lower her jaw, the other hand slowly pouring it in.
Yeah, you could totally do that if you were sure. If you want to slowly pour it in, you can absolutely do that, Tizio.
I don't think slow is gonna be what's happening here. So I would like to say to Ellis, I might need to cast Hold Person. Um, so you might not
Dude,
be invisible in a minute.
dude, you cast whatever you fucking want. I'll get out of here easy.
Uh huh. Uh huh. From looking at this lady, does she seem wise?
You cannot discern that from looking at a sleeping woman in a bed.
She's the person in charge, so
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. I give a thumb. I tap Tizio on the shoulder, and let's see what happens. We'll address these
Uh,
issues as they arise.
yeah, like I, you guys. I don't know if you guys are just unawares or not sure, but obviously interacting with a sleeping individual, regardless of the silence around the room, would still
Yeah, it's
probably
gonna
wake
wake
you
her
up.
up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's at a disadvantage, I'm assuming.
Nope. No, let's just go for this.
so
Tizio, let's do it.
you can do whatever you want. I just wanted to be clear on what it was.
I think we're just gonna go for it.
Okay, so what are you casting?
Oh, I'm not casting anything yet.
Okay, Tizia, what are you doing?
Is it? Would it be like? I'm assuming it's just a sleight of hand.
You don't know what the skill check is. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna be doing what I said, like kind of, I guess, opening up her jaw or lowering her jaw and pouring it in.
In
Remember what I said about the spider?
fast or slowly?
Slowly. I said that from the beginning. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right. Ma- make
Okay.
make a dexterity check.
Dexterity, not a sleight of hand.
What do you, make a dexterity check, Tizio.
He wants the proficiency bonus.
I know he does,
Why?
but you're not.
Like,
It's
why?
not. It's
Why
not a.
wouldn't I?
This is not a sleight of hand. You were. All right, fine. Short. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh God.
Let me think. This is the conflict where the DM's like, really, you don't get this, and then I'm like, no, wait, let the player do what he wants to do. Make a a sleight of hand check. Go ahead. Absolutely.
He rolled it.
Oh,
He rolled.
I was looking at other stuff. Okay. Give me 1 second, please.
So if you want to give him his proficiency bonus, it's a +3. If not, then it's a -.
Sure.
It would actually be a +11, not a +3.
You get plus 11 on your.
Yes, I have the gloves of thievery. My sleight of hand, I get an additional plus.
Yeah, I don't think you're thieving
sorry,
Ye-
anything.
It would be
You
plus
you
8. So it
you,
would be +8.
you made those.
Yeah, I told you last session.
I
that
know.
had
I
them.
just. This is great. This is great stuff.
Was
That's fine.
you gain a +5 to dexterity sleight of hand checks and dexterity check made to pick lock. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a great item for you.
Yep.
Yeah, so I have a +11 to it, but I think how Roll20 is doing it, because I also get like another proficiency, but it's only if I'm using my tools. So I
Yeah.
believe it'll be a -3. So it should just be a +8.
Yeah, because that the math is where I'm trying to figure that out. Because that's a crazy buff.
Yeah, it's only +11 if he's using a tool.
Right.
Yeah,
So instead, it would just be minus proficiency. So that'd be +8.
yeah. So it's just a +8, not
Oh,
a +11.
sure. Okay. So for a total of 27, right?
No, minus another 3 because there's already a +3 in there.
Correct.
So 24.
If he gets those gloves, that's the thing.
Oh, he has the gloves because we talked about that
Well,
before.
if they count, is all I'm saying.
Well, let's see what they're for. I mean, he's wearing them. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to make sure
Sure.
that we're not.
Oh, no, no, that's right. It does say to pick locks. You're not picking a lock.
Well, it says or making sleight of hand check.
Sure.
If, if it's a sleight of hand check, that's up to you.
Sounds good. I'll work with it.
Okay.
I don't want to hold up. I don't want to hold up semantics. That's fine. All right. So you are attempting to do that. Give me 1 second, please.
He's going at it alone. I'm gonna back him out of the silence.
Mm-hmm.
As best I can. I can try to cast a spell when everything goes to shit.
So I mean, so here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Tizio, you quietly, silently, gingerly wait for that moment when Bellathine rolls to her side Or is it the other one? Because you haven't met her before. No, I'm not. I'm messing with you. So, you wait for a moment where she is close enough to you, not holding on to the other female. Very carefully, you slowly depress on the bottom part of her jaw and wait for her mouth to slowly open up. And it does so. And you wait with like a bated breath as you're like, oh god, what the hell? Oh god, what the hell? You uncork the vial and you begin to start pouring it into her mouth. After about the first 3 seconds, you see as her eyes pop open, as she is starting to gag on this liquid you are trying to feed her because it tastes disgusting. What are you doing?
Wait, so she's waking up?
Yeah, you're pouring liquid down her throat while she's breathing. Yeah, what are you doing?
At that point, I will just try to pour it down her throat as fast as I can.
Make an athletics check. This is against her athletics, because she is going to attempt to stop you. Of course, I roll a 3. So, of course I roll a 3. So, the scrawny half elf Tizio, who normally is not very assertive, panics, and you watch as he immediately like presses a knee into her sternum and shoves half the vial into her now open mouth as she's attempting to scream out for help, but no sound is coming out. And now this liquid is in the process of being forced down her throat. She needs to make a Constitution saving throw. This whole time that this is happening, she is kicking. You can see that she is attempting to make noise, although no noise is coming out. And you can see that the female next to her is starting to move. What are you guys doing? The kicking and moving of the body next to her is waking her up as well. So, yeah, she fails. So, what are you guys doing? She takes 16d6.
I'm not sure if Talon wants to use his old person or not.
She takes 54 points. Poison damage. Okay. Yeah, so the last remnants of the liquid gets shoved into her throat, and you can see as she's begins to like coughing and spewing up, and you can see some of the liquids now kind of like dripping down the sides of her face. You're still holding her. She is going to attempt to push you off again. I need you to make another athletics check to grapple her, or to continue to grapple her. Okay, so I need everyone to. We're gonna roll some initiative here, because this is how this is happening.
So she succeeded on the saving throw?
Oh, I mean, no, she failed the saving throw for the poison.
So she's paralyzed.
Da, 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 da. Oh, yes, you're right. She's paralyzed, so you get advantage on your athletics check. She's still trying to kick off, but
Is that an
I'm
auto?
confused by the definition of paralyzed.
no.
Is that an auto win? Success?
Condition of paralyzed. Is incapacitated, which means they can't move or speak.
Oh, right.
Automatically face
Absolutely.
ability
Yep.
counts.
So never mind. So I apologize. So you force feed the rest of this potion to her, and while she was in the process of kicking and screaming, you can see that there's like this look of absolute terror on her face as she is now, her body begins to seize up and she is not moving. but you do see that the other woman sitting immediately next to her begins to open up her eyes and begins to scream at you alone in this room, standing knee on top of this woman and hands basically over her mouth, trying to force this potion into her. So what are you guys doing with that?
Are we in initiative then?
Mm, because she failed, it doesn't really need to be.
Okay.
But she's about to react. She like this is a surprise round for you for waking her up. So
A quick question: the because she was paralyzed, which she had been kicking and stuff like that too.
she was kicking while you were feeding the poison. The Constitution saving throw
Okay.
didn't happen immediately. After the poison took hold, she stopped kicking. She's now like frozen in paralysis.
this is kind of a problem. I feel like we need to kidnap this lady, but that might cause other problems. I mean, I guess I'll cast Hold Person.
Okay. That is wisdom save.
Yeah. But it's also probably going to be decently loud, so I don't know what to do with that.
Casting hold person. Da, 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 da. Well, I mean, you're not you don't have to shout the command. You can just say it at a normal room tone, but
Okay. Yeah.
just yeah, you are not sure if anyone heard you or anything, but you do watch as her eyes opened up and she sees what was going on. She tried to let out a scream, and then she too becomes stuck. And her mouth is like locked open in place, and her eyes are wide, and she's now like laying on her side, staring at Belethine, who is currently now in the process of like foaming at the mouth.
Well, that's my action. So,
Mm-hmm.
Tizio, you get one action before she gets to make the saving throw again.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Wait, the other lady, correct? You're talking about?
Yes,
Yeah.
this one.
Give me 1 second. Let me take a look at a spell.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the
Yes. Perry, so
um.
in the meantime, Perry, you as you were watching this happen, you see Tizio like carefully trying to pour this liquid into her mouth, and then you see them struggle, and then your vision faded out.
Oh goodness.
Well, I'll go ahead and telepathy to Ellis and tell him what's happening. So,
Yeah. What do you say to
Yep,
him?
I'm aware. I'm ducking behind a freaking thing because my invisibility is.
And there's just like a field right in front of in this house.
What do you mean? There's no visible field that you can see. It's not like a darkness spell.
So I mean like
Oh, you meant like
landscape
oh,
wise.
landscape wise. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So landscape wise, like from where you are in the houses, there's a good 300 or so feet before you reach the base of the building.
I guess what is the landscape like?
Uh, just grass, really. You guard or you gather that they tried to make sure that there was nothing close enough to the building to conceal anyone. It was intentionally cultivated that way.
So dry grass.
Um, at this time of the year, no, it's fairly vibrant.
I guess I'll just start walking towards the front gate.
Okay.
wait, why are you walking towards it?
He saw. Well, so Perry saw you guys struggling with the I guess the guest.
The last thing he saw through his clairvoyance was that Tizia was trying to slowly pour poison in, and then she started kicking, but his vision cut out because of the
Oh,
time,
okay.
so he doesn't know that it succeeded.
But his thought is meant to be a distraction.
So what are you guys doing? What are you doing, Tizio?
I'm going to just try to like cover their eyes.
Cover whose eyes? The lady?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, you put your hands over her eyes.
I'm sorry. Was that
You place your hand over whose eye? The water baron or the other woman?
the other woman's?
Okay, yeah, you place your hand over her eyes. She can't do anything. She's held.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, she failed it.
Oh, the second one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Tizio, do you have a plan here? Well, he can't hear me.
Nope.
So it's my turn.
What are you doing?
I guess I'll run up next to her and I don't know.
Music stop.
Guess I'll grab a pillow and put it on her face.
Okay. You do that. You grab the pillow that was immediately behind her head, and her eyes are currently being covered by Tizio's hand, and then you kind of smush the pillow on top of his hand and her mouth. Tizio?
Um,
What are you doing?
can I guess not necessarily push it off, but prevent it. Try to like kind of push the pillow off of her. Like I know what he's doing.
What is your
I mean, we can't
plan?
hear each other, but
So, okay, so Talum is in the process of trying to smother this secondary woman, right?
correct. Yeah.
And now you want to remove the pillow from her head.
Correct. Yeah. I don't want him to kill her. So
Oh, okay, yeah. You begin
that
to.
was yeah, to me that wasn't part of the plan. She's more of a innocent bystander. Wrong place, wrong time type thing. So yeah, I'm gonna try to prevent him from killing her
Okay,
or suffocating her.
sure.
No como now.
Okay, so Talum, you watch as Tizio begins to pull the pillow off of her face that you were trying to push down. I mean, are
Yeah,
you trying
he
to?
can clearly see me, so like I'll kind of gesture like no, like saying it like no type of thing. So
Uh, okay, well, this is between the two of you. Talum,
correct,
are
yeah.
you continuing with what you were doing?
We can't have a witness. Yeah.
So I need you both to make athletics checks. This is a contest of who can hold it down or remove it.
The two weakest characters head to head, who's gonna win?
I guess it's a bad time to send a message then
Uh,
to
Perry, you can send a message if you like. You can definitely get in on this rotation. All right, so who are you sending your message to?
I
20.
have the sending stone.
I believe Talum has it. You can send up to 25 words.
Alright. You need me to create a distraction. I'm ready to.
Okay, so Talum, as you are pressing down this pillow onto her face, Tizio is trying to force it off, but you are just not having it. You are holding this pillow down. Now you start to feel in one of your interior robe pockets a warm sensation that you know is the sending stone. Someone has sent you a message. Ellis, where are you doing right now?
I'm chilling.
Okay, make a stealth check for me because you were no longer invisible.
That is true. Are there like any pillars up here I could have ducked behind to
There are
hide myself from
yes,
the cold?
there are tons.
Great. That's what
Okay, yeah. So you just continue climbing all the way up to the upper spire of this small platform. But go ahead and just roll a stealth check for me. Oh yeah. So yeah, you are sitting pretty, just kind of twiddling your thumbs, wondering what the hell's taking so long. At that point, the ashen skinned female is no longer held. You watch as she now begins to start struggling and kicking as the two of you are locked in this battle amongst yourselves, trying to suffocate her, and she's in the process of trying to push you guys off. So she is, if I don't know, that this is a strange three-way. So Tizio, are you going to attempt to try to help her to get out from under the pillow?
Um, can I, can I do that while still trying to cover her eyes?
No.
She saw us.
Alright, then yeah, I would just go ahead and push the pillow off if I can.
Okay, so you currently can't because Talum is holding it down. What I'm saying is you are literally on the opposite side of the bed, leaning over Belathine, trying to cover her eyes and pull a pillow off at the same time, while she is struggling to push both of you off to get the fuck up. So Talum, just make another strength check for me, or athletics check for me.
No, I want to do something different.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
Tizzy is not cooperating.
No, he's not.
Yeah, I'm I'm gonna uh step out of this
Okay.
and I guess I'll cast Hold Person again because
Okay.
we need to deal with that.
Okay. So she will attempt to make another save. She fails. So you watch as Talon, or Tizio, you watch as Talon just let the pillow, you kind of throw it off to the side. She tries to get up and rush towards the step ladder and the hatch on the side, and then all of a sudden she kind of locks in place once more, and then it crumples onto the bed. What are you doing, Tizio?
Um, you said she's on the bed, like, or like on the edge of the bed, like on
She,
the floor.
she's not on the floor. She didn't have her action to try to get off the bed yet. She has the pillow removed from her. You still have her eyes covered, and now she's like stiff again. You clearly see Talum now because he's no longer invisible. He's standing there having cast a spell.
Um, I'm gonna maintain that and just kind of take a deep breath of okay, I think he got it, and just try to hold her eyes, hold her eyes shut.
Okay. Um, Perry, at this moment, you have not gotten a response.
That's only gonna make him more worried.
Yep.
And he will continue moving toward the house.
Okay. Um, Eva is. Does she stay or does she go? Um, 1 to 50, she stays. 51 to 100, she goes with you. Okay. She she kind of looks around and rolls her eyes and just says, "And we can't handle them to do anything." She tries to follow behind you. Uh,
Has herself as a shield.
let's see how many times she can do that. So she's already done that. What's the hat? So it's not a. It's an action. So yeah, yeah, she can do it at will, because it's a hat. Yeah. So yeah, she. You watch as she takes on the visage of another shield of Yartar, and she just starts walking next to you. Ellis, you doing anything?
Yep, I will speak. I'll say, "Yo, what's taking so long?"
Okay. Tell him. What are you doing?
I'll reply and say Tizio's trying to leave a witness. And then a third level magic missile
At who?
at the lady in the bed.
Really? Okay. So that is 5d4, yes?
Plus,
Plus
yeah,
5,
plus
or
5, so
yeah, so
yeah.
5d4 plus 5. Okay. Um, okay. So, hold on. So it's been 5 rounds. Um, Tizio, you watch as Talon releases a flurry of these small dart-like objects that just begin to um, barrage onto this woman, and after which she begins to start. She's just no longer moving. Like blood is now starting to seep out of the sides of her face and ears. She's dead. What are you doing, Tizio? Tizio?
Sorry. When to get us out of here, you were teleporting us out, Talon? Or
You know, well, now that she's dead, you can climb back in the bag.
I'm gonna mouth to him since I'm in the code of the thing of silence. I'm like, you motherfucker,
Okay.
and I'm gonna run. I get. Okay, I see the bag. Like get out of the circle and say, "Give me the damn bag," and try to jump in.
Okay. So at that
Because
moment,
because I can't do anything. Like I can't give her like a potion or anything like that. Correct? Like it's just an auto dead for them.
he did enough damage to kill her, like outright.
Okay.
Um, the reason why you guys get death saving throws is because you are more
No. I
yeah.
just want to be sure. Yeah. No.
No, but she is dead, and she is just had bled out instantaneously right next to Belethine, who is still locked in place, staring at the two of you, wide-eyed. Um, at that moment, as you kind of step out of the radius of the silence, you can hear from down below. What the fuck is going on up there? Make a acrobatics check. Try to get in the bag. Perry, what are you doing?
Just before I get to the front door, I'll try again on the sitting cell. What is going on up there?
I don't think you can do it a second time.
Okay.
I think it's a once a day thing.
Fuck.
Yep.
Guess I'm continuing the course then. I can't do it again.
Okay.
I
It
will just try
it'll
and knock on the front door, create a distraction.
okay. It'll take you a couple rounds to make your way over to the front side because you guys were on the back side of the building, so you guys are kind of having to skirt around. So let me just show you real quick. So you guys were like over here, and you're walking around this way to try to get towards the front, or are you just trying to? Now there is a patrol that is walking around, just so you're aware.
That's fine.
All right.
They see me, I see.
Okay. So Ellis.
Well, are you getting rid of the witness or what?
Yeah, witness is dead.
Oh my god, you killed the witness? We'll cover up the evidence. You don't want to fuck that shit up.
Yep. We're making noise now, though, because people coming. It's getting complicated.
Ugh, you can't trust wizards for anything these days.
And that is the extent of that 6-second action. Awesome. Tell him.
Yeah, I accidentally reloaded the page, so I'm loading back in.
Oh, you're fine.
Uh,
Tizio successfully managed to climb quickly this time into the bag.
great.
You now have a paralyzed water baron, a dead
Yeah,
human, and
yeah,
you.
with blood on the sheets.
So as you kind of make a perception check at disadvantage.
Yeah, my character sheet opening.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. You know that magic missiles is force damage, but you kind of take a quick glance at the two of them, and it's not like blood splatter. It looks like somebody had an aneurysm and just bled out through their ears and nose.
Okay. So there's just like a little bit of drippings around.
There's about half a pint.
Great. Does it look like something I can remove with prestidigitation?
Yeah.
And Tizio's in the bag.
Yep.
And the noise was from downstairs or like outside the door?
You so there is no door. There is no like doors or anything here. You can see that there's a large black altar here with an orb on it, and the door is over in this direction. I guess it's a hatch. You guys are in the uppermost part of the building. She climbs up this ladder into
Oh,
this room.
okay.
So you hear from down below with what you gather is like the second level, and you don't know what that. You kind of have a vague idea of what that layout looks like. When you go down that ladder, there's a long corridor, and there are various different rooms all throughout the space. All you
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
yeah. So all you know is that there was noise coming from down there. The hatch is currently closed.
So I will use my action
Hmm.
to try to clean the blood.
Okay, you managed to do so.
And I will run. Let's see, where's the window? Is that the window?
Correct.
Is that a window?
No, I steal
Okay.
pictures online.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, can I see out the window from where I'm standing? Just like to empty space.
Mm, you have to get really close to the window to try to peer through, because it is pitch black out there.
But there's silence, so I can't cast a spell. Correct?
Correct.
Great, 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 great.
You can try to make a perception check at this distance. It'll be a disadvantage. There's no light out the window. You're just looking out into the horizon.
Yeah. Um, I will. I mean, yeah, I guess I'll make a perception check to just try to see. Like, I just have to see anything. I just want to navigate through it. I don't care if I fall or anything.
Uh,
I just want to end up on the other side.
okay, so
So yeah, I guess I'll roll a perception
I
check.
was gonna say you also have a obviously you can also you have an idea of how it was outside either way, so you kind of picture where you want it to land. I'm assuming.
mm,
I
po-
mean,
throw,
How it
this
works,
step
or
is you have to see where you want to go. And I just want to go
gotcha.
outside the window. So I don't know. I guess I'll roll a perception check and see what happens.
okay, and that's what you rolled there.
No,
Oh,
I rolled.
okay. You're having a hard time seeing through. If only you had eyes on the outside.
I mean, yeah, but that's an action. So I'll run to the other side of the bed, I guess.
Okay.
It's my turn.
All right. Tizio is in the bag. Perry.
Still moving closer to the front door.
Okay. Are you moving quickly or are you just walking?
I would say he's.
Like
He's gonna
dashing
try
or
to.
like it?
I mean, yeah, if he's not in vision of anybody, he will be dashing.
Okay.
But if, especially since he still hasn't heard back.
Right.
Wait, what
Yeah, so
what
if he.
what amount of actions does it cost to reply?
An action, I
Oh,
believe.
okay. Okay.
It is. Let me look at the stones.
Okay, so yeah, so if he hasn't heard anything back yet, still he will continue to he will start dashing. But if he sees anybody, I guess he'll try and act casual.
Okay. Make a performance check. Why? Okay. Noted. Yeah, you okay. Ellis?
I will hum the Jeopardy tune
Yeah.
in Talon's ear. I will telepath the Jeopardy tune. The first 6 seconds, which go dum 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 dum
Yeah.
dum 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 dum, and that's the end of my tune.
Excellent.
Yep.
um at this point, Talum, you can hear what sounds like keys.
Oh, that's better news than I thought I was gonna have. Okay, I I will run up to the window,
Okay.
pull the light thing out of my pocket,
Yep.
reply to Perry with, "Tell Ava to drop concentration right now." And then,
Wait. Because you're in the silence zone.
oh, fine, I'll do it. Whatever. I'm stupid.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. You're right. It's mental. You're right.
Everything's mental.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Okay. And then I will. I mean, I don't know if I can hold a spell at this point. Or do I have to cast a spell?
It's an action. It's an action to reply.
Yeah.
Right. So you're replying, telling Eva or Perry what?
Drop concentration right now. On silence.
Okay.
Where did we land with? She isn't following me, right?
She is following you.
Oh, she is.
Thankfully she is following you. So
Tell her to start concentration.
okay, yeah, and she goes, "What? All right." And she snaps her fingers. Okay, there, it's done.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't
Oh, it's
either.
going great. It's going great.
So, that brings us back down to you now are about maybe 3/4 of the way to the front door, Perry. Ellis.
Da 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 dum 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 da.
Tell him.
I. How high up am I?
You're about 3 stories up.
Okay. Which is like 30 feet?
Uh, I will give you an exact distance. So you're about 50 feet in the air, we'll
Can I
say,
fall that far in one round?
roughly.
Okay. Oh, I've only had one more round.
Well, no, hold on. I'll tell you this. Hold up, because this is vaulted ceilings. This is a Gothic style cathedral. We'll put you at about at least 100 feet up in the air.
Do I fall that far in one round?
Yeah. No, 6 seconds. I don't think you can fall 100 feet in a round.
I think rules is written you fall 500 feet in a round.
Oh, so yeah. So there you go.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Ellis.
Yep.
100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That really puts Dag on the plan.
1d6 for every like 10 feet or something like that. Or...
Yeah, but that's like not stand up and walk away damage in real life. Also, I only have 36 hit points. They could easily go forward.
What are you doing?
Oh god. Well, the last I heard, the guards were unlocking the door.
You heard keys jangling and the sounds of a lot of commotion coming downstairs. You know from the layout of this room there is a actual chamber below this trap door, and you
Right.
are. What's up?
Do I have any idea how long the ladder is?
Yeah, I was gonna
Uh,
ask it like theater of the mind wise. Is it like keys like is this little latch like
Is it
closed
is it a
or?
the
15-foot ladder or a
the
50-foot ladder?
it's at least a 15-foot ladder down to the second floor. The latch is closed. You don't know if it's locked. and you can hear through it because it's wood, and they are making a lot of noise down there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I have to spend one more action. I will cast fly on myself.
Okay, Perry,
Yes.
you're about 3/4 of the way there. You got a response. What are you doing?
Very unhappy with that response. He will continue to rush towards the door and create a distraction.
Okay, one more round, and you will be up at the front. You can see in the distance, maybe about 700-800 feet away. You can see that now that you're close enough to this facility, what you actually see is on the base. And I forgot to mention this for you guys when you were going up the tower. Um, all along the edges of the Water Baron's Manor are these large stone statues of lions that are perched up, wide mouths just open in almost like a roar type scenario. No thick manes or anything like that. They appear to be like female, and while they are all scattered around about every 20 or 30 feet around the edges of the building, you can see that there are 2 guards stationed at the front, and they don't notice you yet. But they are currently standing there. There are torch sconces on both sides of them. They're well lit, and they seem to be just holding spears in each other's hands. But if you rush up that way, you'll probably get there in another round or so tops. So less than 800 feet. So Ellis.
Bum 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 bum. Oh, fuck you guys. I'll stand up and I will start searching around to see an opening uh
Yep.
in the rotating guards around.
Make a perception check. Nice. This is turn 9. So right now, what you can see is on the back side of the building, you do see that same group of about 4 guards. Let me do this. And they are in the process of rounding the corner in that same counterclockwise path before they begin to pass over under where the glass window is.
Oh, okay. I guess that's the end of my turn.
Okay? Tell them.
I will Misty step through the window and dash at 120 feet.
Just up or straight?
Ah, that's a good question. Before I Misty step through the window, do I see anything
Uh,
on the ground or anything?
Perception check at disadvantage.
Says I can't you misty step and then look and move.
I don't know. I like my 6.
You don't see anything on the ground. It's really dark down there. But at this moment, that hatch is now being it is opening.
Yeah, I'm Misty stepping through and flying 120 feet. I guess I'll go. I don't know where Ellis is.
Nope.
But I'll go away from the building, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, so just in an upward angle.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Misty step out and then fly 120 feet.
Okay.
So I should be able to go like 150 feet.
Sounds good. Okay. So, with that, let's get back outside. Now,
And I'll say to Ellis, exhibit building.
okay.
I see him poof out and then fly away out of range of my response.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, okay. Well, my turn.
Well, before that, Perry, you are very close to this door now. What are you doing?
guards, I guess.
You can see the guards. You can reach them if you wanted to.
Then he'll try and like compose himself. Stick with the course since he's around us. Nothing hasty here.
Okay.
You have Ava with you, who's a shield, so you can do something about it.
Yep, you do see you are being escorted right now by what appears to be a shield of Yartar.
I can just pretend like you already confronted me and trying to speak with the Water Bands about possible trade mission.
At this time of night, I don't think that's likely.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. That's the idea. It's caused a little bit of a ruckus. Nothing too much. Not trying to get in prison. But
I'm so sorry, Eva. She'll hold on. Let me look at her spells. Mm, okay. She has no way to communicate with you guys. Um, yeah, she nods and says, "All right, well, we better think of a story fast." And she walks with you up to the guards. At this point now, um, the guards see you guys approach, as you guys are not being quiet, and they don't say anything at first because they do clearly see someone of a shield of Yartar. Ellis, what are you doing?
I would like to take a look around to see if I'm gonna jump off, where would be the best place to land? Like, or the darkest. Where would be the darkest place to land? I guess is the better.
So, I mean, you're like 100 feet up or so, right?
Yup,
The
that's
near
not a problem.
the nearest right. The nearest house is at least 300 feet away. There are sconces all around the building. Wherever you land, you're landing in the open.
Okay.
So, what you do know is that where's this freehand? So you're literally like right about here, kind of tucked behind the roof, and that guard that I was talking about is walking this way. So if you give it a moment, they will pass like they've been passing, and then what you do is up to you.
I think I might wait for them to round the other side of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I will probably jump off.
Okay, yeah, just back the way you came.
Yeah, if they're going this direction,
Yeah, they're heading like this.
yeah, then I will once I oh, I see. Okay, that's the direction they're going.
Yeah, counterclockwise.
Then when they round the corner, I'm gonna probably try and jump off this way.
Okay, complete opposite of
Um,
their direction. Got it.
yep, and then sprint into the you know, out of out of here.
Okay, okay. Tell them.
Uh, do I see anything?
Make a perception check. What are you looking for?
Just, I don't know, guards,
Okay,
Ellis,
sure. Make a perception check.
Perry. I don't really know what he's doing, but
Yeah, this is good times.
I don't even remember what his sending message was to me. So, I don't know if he said he was walking to the building or not. I don't remember.
Wizard, not well under pressure.
Wizard doing fine under pressure.
The house is burning. This is fine. Um, so you, this is awesome. So you jumped out and flew this way, right?
Yeah.
All right. Perry, in
I probably
his,
can't see him. That's the
oh
problem.
yeah, I know. Perry is literally right here. Oh, that's orange again. I don't want orange. Perry is right here with Eva, walking up towards the front of the manor. Uh, with your perception roll, you do not see Ellis. You know that Perry was back here, but he's not there when you flew over, or you didn't see him. You're not sure. So you currently are suspended up above the air, and you don't see any of your friends.
Well, this is why we had a meetup point. So I will try to get somewhere less conspicuous
Okay.
and still flying very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Try to start looping back to the meetup zone.
The meetup zone being the fish yard.
Yeah. So like I don't know.
Okay.
I only flew 150 feet, so
Yeah.
like 300 feet around the building, and then I
Sure.
guess farther to try to get to the road.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just arc your way over. Now, are you just trying to fly over and straight down, or are you trying to duck behind buildings?
I think I would try to get to the ground as soon as possible.
Okay. Just roll a stealth check for me.
Sure.
Advantage because it's nighttime.
Okie doke.
Cool. But even when I get to the ground, I still want to move at fly speed as long as
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
too
yeah.
fast.
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine with that. So here's what's gonna happen, guys. Because Eva is not here, and I would hate to deny her a wonderful lie to a guard. So what's gonna happen is we are gonna pick up on the next session where Perry and Eva are now face to face with the front of the Water Baron's Hall. It is 1 o'clock in the morning. They don't recognize you, Perry, and they're looking at the two of you puzzlingly. Ellis is about to, Hulk jump off of a 100-story roof or 100-foot roof, and Tizio is currently suffocating in a bag of holding. I joke about the suffocating, but you get the point.
I do have a question about that actually.
Yes.
While in the bag of holding, uh, do I get to see the other contents that are in the bag of holding or no?
No. You
Okay.
and I mentioned this when I gave you the descriptor earlier. You feel weightless. You are blind and deaf.
Ah, okay.
You have no idea what's going on. And the longer you stay in there, the longer you are uncertain of how much time has actually passed.
So I grow like an Ellis beard or?
Time doesn't actually pass faster.
No, I know.
It's that sense of claustrophobia that gets to you. It gets to everyone when you're in confined spaces. So, does anyone have any questions of me?
No, I'm just writing down what my line is gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I'm sorry, Eva, if you go back to watch this, you're gonna have to think of what's gonna happen. Oh boy. But I guess that is just where we will pick up on the next session, with all this craziness happening in the dead of night.
D&D, everyone.
This is literally D&D. I don't know what else to. The whole time this is going on, I'm just like, yeah, this is normal party shenanigans.
It went shockingly well for how I thought it was gonna go.
It hasn't ended yet, though.
You didn't make sure that the water baron wasn't revived before the poison was finished.
There's no way they know how to fix the poison in 1 round or 2 rounds. She doesn't know. They'd have to identify the poison, find the antidote.
We've
That's at
also
least
had multiple rounds.
I've been keeping track of the rounds.
that's at least like a 2 round thing. I don't give a shit.
You guys are on.
Let's hope so.
It it took you guys 7 rounds. Round 8 was you leaving the building.
Yeah, she's fine. And if
I was
not,
like, yeah,
it's not
the
round
multiple
8.
rounds Callum and I had inside.
Yeah, it's probably fine.
Yeah, from the start of the poison administering, I kept track of the round.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm just saying. You also don't know who's in her employ.
It's not our problem if it goes bad. You just leave.
Well, she's definitely seen me at Tizia,
Hmm.
so we definitely have a problem if she lives. But it's fine. I'm confident that she's dead, and there's nothing that will backfire with that confidence.
Damn,
Oh
so in
man.
character.
The a little shaky start, but you pulled it off.
Good news, we escaped. She might die, and definitely.
No, she did die. She did die.
Yeah, we kind of need positive thinking right now.
There's one less witness. Ellis is not thinking positively. He thinks, all right, I dropped off motherfuckers who didn't do nothing, and now I have to jump off a 100-story building.
I can't wait to hear what lyrics Ellis came for these hums.
All right, guys. It was fun as always. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
I'll catch y'all next week.
All right, peace out, boys.
All right. Good job not getting in the. Good job not getting into combat.
We were really screwed if she passed her saving throw. I didn't really know what was happening then.
I mean, yeah. If she, well,
So it's only one paid saving throw, right?
right. But the thing is, like, the initial fighting to get you off of her would have stopped the poison from. Well, I guess it's a little finicky. In my head, I was thinking like, well, okay, if he starts pouring the stuff down her face, how long does it take for the poison to take effect before she has to make the saving throw? Does that give her enough time to force Tizio off of her and attempt to get out of the bed and fight back? But thankfully, she did not pass her athletics check.
Yeah, but we would have been out of poison at that point. We would have been in real trouble.
But yeah, it's I mean DC 20 on that is it's not easy.
Over a 5% chance of passing, which is
I was gonna say, like, at least for like an NPC or like
she has
like
54 hit
monsters and
points,
stuff like.
so
She has more than 54 hit
Yeah.
yeah,
points.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
her constitution isn't bad. It's probably like 15 at least, which means it's a 15% chance of success.
And how much HP do you have?
Me,
Does Talon
36.
have? 36?
Do you know how many twos I've rolled?
I have 45, and you know how many like high rolls I got? Like I
I'm
don't know.
operating on sunk cost fallacy at this point. I should just be taking average, but I keep hit rolling to make up for the bad
Yeah,
rolls.
I prefer rolling over the averages to be fair.
I like rolling. That's why I give you guys the re-roll the ones, because rolling is fun.
Yep. But every time I've rolled a 2.
Yeah, I feel so bad. I
No,
do.
you don't.
No, I don't.
Feel bad. It's
I
fun
don't.
to
The
have
the
more fun.
squishy wizard is great, especially at level 6.
I mean, I'm not that squishy. I have 17 AC, so.
But you're not squishy from jumping out of a 100-foot building?
Yeah. Yeah, the average fall would knock you unconscious.
Yeah.
I understand. I would have. No, I would probably die instantly.
Uh, well, let's see, right? 100 foot, so it's up to a max of 20, isn't it?
It's 10d6.
Yeah.
And oh, so no, I wouldn't die. I would probably get knocked unconscious. Yeah, I would probably wouldn't die. Yeah, that wouldn't have ended well. I don't know why I argued for the building to be taller. I hope I could get it tall enough where I can cast flying in the air.
You know what's funny? Like in my head when you asked that question, I was like, wait, and you said there was 3 stories. I was like, oh, maybe because like I remember you saying that it's like the ceilings were high and stuff like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
maybe like 90 feet. And
Yeah.
then you were like, like 50 or something. I was like, oh, that's way shorter than I thought.
Yeah, and then I had to correct myself because they are the super tall vaulted ceilings, so they're like at least 15 plus each or something.
Yeah.
And now you know how dramatic Featherfall is from 500
Oh,
It's
do you know why I don't have Featherfall prepped? Because I had to prep 15 other spells because everybody came up with like 6 plans.
yeah. And then when it
I
mattered,
prep
we
Featherfall
still didn't
every
know what
day.
plan we were gonna take.
Yeah, I prep Featherfall every day, but I didn't prep it for this.
It's not Featherfall wouldn't have been smart because that would have put you in the courtyard with 300 feet around. So smart not prepping Featherfall.
No,
I'm just
because I could have cast Featherfall as I Misty stepped out the door and then cast Fly next round because you only fall like a couple feet around. So I still could have flown.
Yeah, it's like 10 feet around or something.
It's 60.
Oh, close enough.
But I probably also would have gotten seen by guards.
Yeah, that was the crazy thing too, because it was either the guards are going to be just rounding that window or passing that window, and they happened to be rounding. So if you did jump out the window and go straight down, you would have been noticed.
That's
All right. Well, good job,
I would have
everybody.
just died jumping out of the window. So I don't think fireball would have helped.
This corpse just comes crashing out of nowhere.
It's one of those kamikaze. Is that what it is? Like they kill themselves as they're taking out everyone else.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
also killed Tizio.
You do.
I'm still in the bag. I'm still in the bag.
And no one would have known to check you. Yeah.
Yeah. You're just gonna slowly die alone in darkness.
Yeah, and it's not like a portable hole where you can force your way out of it.
I will.
I mean, he could probably slice the inside of the bag.
I mean, yes, you could.
Tizio's smart enough to figure that out. I'm not.
You should buy a stopwatch.
A stopwatch. I'll just make one real quick.
So
while
that
I'm in here.
he's blind and deaf. He can't see in there anyway.
I can
count the
make it
ticks.
vibrate. I can make it vibrate.
He's blind and deaf. He's gonna hold it to count the vibrations.
I don't think it says that I have to see my magical tinkering to make it. It'd be correct on that.
That's not what I meant. You love to make that spell do whatever it's needed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Most powerful class feature.
Can I magical tinker just win the game right here?
Yeah.
Guys
I
are
still
crazy.
think the matchless pipe should make all guards in 500 feet forget what they were doing.
No, but you know,
That would be such a good legendary magic item.
yeah, no.
Like, it wouldn't actually be useful, like, in anything that actually matters, but it would be really funny. Like, you rob a store, everybody's coming to arrest you, you smoke the pipe, and then they just leave.
So I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is
like Skyrim Guard API.
yeah.
Or, AI.
This is kind of old stuff, but I don't know if you've ever seen any of Darren Brown, the hypnotist.
No, but I kind
Never
of like,
heard of it.
I know, like, of it.
Oh, he walked into a jewelry store in New York, paid the guy for a ring with paper, not real money, just blank paper, and walked out.
Oh, we lost down. There it is.
Yep.
Or crap.
That's all good. All right, guys, I'm gonna go for the night. Thank you for playing.
See ya.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what happened with that guy? You should text me.
Okay.
He said he would tell me later.
Uh huh.
He said he would tell me later.
Yeah. He
Wait,
he he
wait,
was
wait, in suspense.
he was watching us play.
Okay.
He's a friend from high school.
Okay.
He played D&D before.
Oh, he just wanted to watch? Okay. It
Well-
sounded like you were gonna invite him.
I don't know. I haven't decided.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't, like, make this a thing. I was literally just curious, because usually when you invite someone to the server and say watch the session, sometimes people are gonna ask.
Ah.
Sorry.
Well, he's in the server. You could talk to him.
We're
Yeah.
still live, aren't we?
Yeah, we're live. I'm not bad mouthing anybody.
No, I was really just confused. I
Ugh.
didn't mean to, like, make this a thing. My bad.
Nah, we're good. I'll have him introduce himself. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
And it's hilarious.
Oh my god.